to have this opportunity to present. My name is Kelly, and this is James, and this is Willie. We are from the team Hitched. And Hitch means married, and H in our logo also means happy. So we're looking at happy marriages. So the next slide. Okay, so to give a bit of background story on why we are doing this, I'll talk a bit about myself. I am an NUS alumni, and I'm married with a baby on the way. And they are not my husbands. They're not. He's not here. My sons. So I got married in 2011, 3 years ago, when I was 24. So at that point of time, I was one of the younger, one of the earliest of my friends to get married. In my opinion, I think getting married is a choice. There's no right or wrong. But I would believe that if we were to get married, we need to be 100% committed. So I am always into, I'm very much into the topics of commitment, love, and marriage. I feel that marriage is a journey, and both parties needs to be committed. So, let's bring the context a bit closer to the current context. So right now, all three of us, we work in a company. We do software design and development. We have done quite a couple of projects for startups and enterprises for the past 6 years. So we've always been wanting to do something for ourselves, to create something meaningful for users. So just a week ago, James and I, we had a conversation about what are some of the apps we have done before. And then we stumbled upon one of the apps, a desktop widget we have done for Marriage Central. So basically, it's a desktop widget that can be installed onto the Windows or the Mac computer. And every day there's a tip, that tells you, do this to your spouse. You can do something for her today. You can do something for him today. So we thought that, why not we do some, let's innovate a bit, create a mobile application. Because we feel that the thing is, today everyone will have a mobile device with them. They may not have the computer with them all the time, but a mobile device is definitely something that we'll carry everywhere. So, yep. Oh, can't release. Okay, so I just want to talk a bit about the current situation that's happening in the society. Too many people talk about weddings, but very few people talk about marriages. So there's a lot of hype about a glamorous, a beautiful wedding. As much as we want to have a beautiful wedding, we should also have a beautiful marriage. So, and that brings us to the purpose of our application. Which is to provide a tool to build and repair relationship. Okay. So our target audience would be young couples, aged 21 to 35. For my personal experience, I have friends. They break up before they get married, and the sad thing is they get divorced after they get married. And I think the saddest thing out of all this is they are divorced when they have children. They have children. So I think it's very important to educate our target audience here. Yeah. So we decided to then we explore a wedding concept. A lot of UI, that's user interface, and designs that are being used to describe weddings and marriages. And we realized that the aesthetics were a bit conventional. Usually, you have the embellishments, the embroidery, and we wanted to make it a bit more fun. And we thought of the word fruitful, because, as I said, marriage is a journey, and then we feel that the journey should be fruitful. And then we thought of fruitful, and that also sparked off the idea of using more colorful and more vibrant colors to make this boring topic a bit more lively. Okay. So I'll talk a bit more about what the app does. So first of all, there is a countdown. So users can input their wedding date. So if it's a past date, it will show their anniversary. If it's a future date, it will show the countdown to their wedding. So the thing about countdown is anticipation. when we see numbers, we will feel excited, and we know that it's approaching. Yeah. And why sayings are quotes from famous people on commitment, love, and a relationship. So these are constant reminders for our users. Next, tip of the day. So we also came out with a list of tips that will be released a day to give ideas to the user on some little things that they can do for their partner on a daily basis. Okay. So one common problem that most couples have after they get past the honeymoon period of courtship is, oh, what are we going to talk about? Like being together becomes boring. So we want to encourage couples to chat with each other, to be more open, to learn more about one another, to learn more about each other. Yeah, so these are some conversations that they can start off with. But the key idea here is to be open. Yeah. Okay, so we have done this prototype with the functions that I've mentioned. Later we'll show you a demo. So what's next? So the first thing we thought of was social media sharing. So for all the quotes, the wise sayings, the tip of the day, the chat starters, we can share to Facebook, share to Twitter. So this will increase awareness, and also this will help the user better express, oh, how am I feeling today? Yeah, then I read a quote. Oh, it speaks to me. Then I'll share it on Facebook. I'll share it on Twitter. Yeah. Then eventually they will inspire their friends. They'll influence the people in their social circle. And also the countdown. We are thinking of sending the countdown image, posting on Facebook or Twitter. Yeah, so that they can share that their wedding is coming or their anniversary is coming. Okay. So the next we thought of was a more personalized experience. So one functionality is push notifications. So users can define, when I want to receive this tip of the day. Okay, maybe when I'm not too busy at work or in school. Another, a more complex functionality that we thought of was to pair up two devices. So we have a guy and a girl pairing up their devices, and each user, each partner will have to fill out a certain form with some questions. So the other partner will receive tips and recommendations based on the likes of his partner. Yeah. So this provides a more customized experience. Okay. Next will be creating a community within. We thought of creating like a forum like within the application. So it's a question and answer. We can encourage the users to voice out some of the problems they are facing in their relationships, and we can get a community to support them. Also, we are thinking of inviting advisors, marriage counselors to be on board to give their advice. And if need to, then maybe an offline approach might be needed for them to go through some counseling. Then the last part is more accessible options. So one problem that we found out that the Marriage Central app that we did for Marriage Central was that, for example, the tip is bring your spouse to a nice dinner. But it's just you still have to think, where to go, where it's more convenient. So we thought that if we provide such a tip to the user, then we will provide a list of recommended options for them. Maybe it could be restaurants that they've never been before. Maybe it could be a restaurant that she likes to go. Yeah. Okay. Then finally, we'll talk about the road to monetization. So we thought of 3 areas. The first thing is, because it's a free app, we thought of putting advertisement. Yeah. So pay-per-click, pay-per-view. Then the next step we thought of was sale of content. We can invite content publisher to provide relevant content, okay, books, articles, podcasts, videos, and sell it as in-app purchases. And the final one will be paid listing. So just now I mentioned about a more accessible function for users. So let's say if the tip is bring her to a nice restaurant, then we'll show the list of restaurants. So restaurants who pay will get listed on the application. So yeah, that will be all. And finally, I just want to add that our vision is to see happier and healthier marriages in Singapore. And that's all. We will show you the application right now. Okay. Oh, there's my phone.
Very convincing.
So, okay. Maybe you can click on the pencil icon. Yeah, so basically you just need to enter your wedding date and email address. Yeah, and you click OK. Yeah, so it will show the countdown. Yeah. So these are the codes that I've mentioned. Okay. Then back. So we find a new place for dinner tonight. Yep. Okay, that's all we have for the presentation. We put that. Do you have any questions for us?
Maybe I'll start. Okay. Firstly, thank you very much for the presentation. I personally feel it's a very fresh idea, and I kind of like the idea which you have.
Thank you.
My question is basically in terms of the three of you all, who does what in this project?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
The design was done by me. James did the programming, the iOS programming work, and then really helped us with the marketing. Yeah.
Okay. And have you checked out in terms of what other apps are there in the market which is similar? And maybe you can give me some insights about your opinions.
Okay. So one of the apps that I use is called Couple App. There are also similar apps, similar to Couple App. But what we feel is that the functions that it has is a very basic messaging function. Like you can send a message to your spouse, you can share a photo to her, you can create like a to-do list, right? A personal wall with your partner. But all these are already found in things like Facebook, WeChat, or WhatsApp. These are the basic functionality. So these are things that they serve as a communication tool, but we feel that it doesn't give enough insights to the user. Yeah, we want to be a bit more educating in this sense.
Okay. And just one last question. In terms of your development work, because you all have big plans, at what stage of development are you right now compared to where you want to be in the future? How many percent?
How many percent? I think we're only at 10%.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's still a very, I would say it's still a very prototype stage at the moment.
Okay,
Yeah, there's still lots to explore.
I'll take the next few questions.
Okay.
How are you guys different from between Love Bite and all of these other relationship kind of applications that are already out there, especially Between? Between is, I'm sure you guys know Between, Korean startup, and they've got like lots of funding, and it's pretty much actually more functionalities than what you guys have.
Definitely.
And also
Yeah.
pretty much the same focus of what you guys are doing. So how are you guys different from them then?
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think Between is a bit like the couple app that I just mentioned.
Yes.
So what I've said earlier on is that all this is a very basic messaging function between you and your partner. But what we are doing here is we are providing content. Yeah, we are getting advisors to provide content, and we would like to have all this content presented in a way that users can better comprehend. Yeah.
So maybe you guys might want to talk to also Love Bite. Love Bite is a local startup that's also pretty much similar to Between, but they also have like some of this content stuff, and actually they do provide content also to encourage the relationships and whatnot. And Between is also providing content already providing content on how to build the relationships and maintain them and so on and so forth, right? So I mean, simplest would be talk to Love Bite because they are based in Singapore.
But I'm not sure what their future advancements will be.
Talk to them. That's why I say, right? from what you guys are offering versus what they have or they offer also. So anyways.
Maybe along the lines of advancing with the developments of the application, between and Hitched could be very different products. Because eventually we are hoping to, as I said, there's a more personalized approach that we are hoping to do. In fact, our principle, if you have heard of the 5 love languages, we feel that love is something that it needs to be expressed in a way that your partner can understand. So that's the ultimate goal that we want to work towards. Yeah. So maybe you can say that, oh, it's similar to what Between is doing right now or what. But I think let's give it a couple of years. Maybe the product will be very different.
Okay. How, do you guys, or rather, what's your background from
What's my background?
From I don't know, like are you in psychology or anything like that?
Oh, I studied at US. I studied communications and new media. Yeah. So, but when I got to the society to work, what we learn is very theory based. So what I learned at work is more, I think it's more practical.
Okay.
So
and how does that relate to what you offer in here? Like, do you have any advice? I mean, or rather, any advisor or mentors in this love relationship part of things
Yeah, I work with my marriage counselor.
Okay, your marriage counselor. Okay,
yeah,
great.
So basically, they are a community whereby they were from Touch community, I think. Yeah, and they will be the advisors.
Any reason why the what do you call it, the advice portion can it be in phase 1? Any reason why isn't in phase 1? Because I thought that would be quite a value added item for couples.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The reason is because we wanted to make it a very simple application.
Okay.
We've done so many startup projects before, and we know that functionalities we can keep adding and adding to the list.
Right.
So we wanted something that's without fuss free kind of application. Something that's useful for the users first. Then we slowly incorporate more and more functionality. Because when we talk about community, we will think about things like we need login function. We need them to sign up. There are more actions required from a user perspective. So we just want it to be free, no login. Just get into the app, get the content, and then you get the countdown functionality. Yeah.
I have few questions.
Yeah. Okay.
I have few questions based on the user experience and the scalable.
Sure.
So these tips and whatever the messages which you popping up, where it is stored or how you make it available.
You want to explain? Yeah.
The data which you pick from for the messaging and the tips, where you store it and how you make it available.
Currently, we use inside the app. We store the message inside the app, but in the future, we can make it online and then we can pull the messages from some database online.
Okay, so currently everything is in phone local. Okay, and those tips which you show, does it understands your couple way of thinking? Like
Not
it
at the
should
moment.
not be. It's
Not at the moment. So it's quite
just
generic.
a blind
it's
tip.
actually written by us. Yeah, it's quite generic at the moment.
It's a generic tip. In terms of user interface and the experience, you planning to add any more features, like basically for a couple to speak about, you speak more of relations, like those countdown which you shown, it will be more valuable if you add more dates, like your sister's date or someone's date. So whenever you speak about someone's relation, you would think of more like if your wife likes to be with most of your sisters, then you would think of more like what to present them. So your tips can be learned based on your relations.
Okay.
So keep track of all your dates,
Okay.
which is more important and key stuff.
Okay. Good. Yeah. You keep in mind. Okay.
Just a quick question. regardless of how this competition turns out, do you all plan to proceed with this idea, or
long
what's
as-
stopping you?
As long as we have enough time and money. Yeah, I mean, if we have enough, I think basically it's really about time. All of us are working, so this was also done outside working hours. So as long as hopefully we can get funding, otherwise it will be funded by our company. So that's all. Okay, thank you for your time. Thanks very much. Thank you.